everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys I'm going to be profiling for you a really kind of cool, fun deck. It just got some new support and it actually can now function as a fully functional deck, and that deck is, guys, legendary Fisherman, Mr. Fish Face himself. This is my old one that I pulled as a kid back in the day, the original legendary Fisherman. So I'm kind of actually happy I get to build a deck around it finally. So, how does this deck function? Well, it kind of functions, if you guys are familiar with some other water decks I've built that are not mermail. It functions as a water beatdown deck. That's the way this deck functions. It functions as a water beatdown deck that can go easily, and if you can get into it, into Legendary Fisherman 3, which is a really good card, and it's a lot easier to get into it now, but that is the main way you try to use this deck, as a beatdown strategy, using a whole bunch of traps and little tricks thanks to Paleozoics. So it does run a frog engine like Paleozoics in it, not so much frogs, but just Paleozoics. So it has the beatdown strategy using a whole bunch of different traps, mainly Paleozoic traps, to function. So it's a really fun deck, very nostalgic for me to build this, and I really enjoy it. The main key card of this deck, though, is Legendary Ocean. That is the backbone of this deck to make it work. So first off, we run our 3 Legendary Fishermen. You can run 2 of them, but I prefer 3 of. When you summon him, he's an 1850 beater, which is nice. That's the main thing about him. It's you use him as either a beater or to help normal summon, then special summon Legendary Fisherman 3. That's how this works. So we got Legendary Fisherman number 1. Then we have our brand new Legendary Fisherman number 2. If you guys don't know what Legendary Fisherman number 2, he's a 22 attacker. He will gain the effect of Umi, which is nice. So I think with Legendary Ocean, he will be at 24 attack, so 2,400 attack. But his effect is, while Umi is on the field, this card is unaffected by other monster card effects. If this face-up card is destroyed by battle and leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, while it's in its owner's control, you can add one level 7 or lower, one level 7 water monster from your deck to your hand. So it's a really good card overall to run. It's very nice. It helps you mainly as a beater and helping you get into the main guy himself, Legendary Fisherman 3, which is sort of your boss monster of the deck. And yes, I will admit kaijus can get around this deck, because kaijus are a thing, but for the most part, he is your big boy. If you guys don't know what Legendary Fisherman 3 does, I'll read to you his long of text. So he can be special summoned by tributing off a Legendary Fisherman. So you can be like, normal summon this. With Legendary Ocean in your hand, if you guys don't know, they'll be level 4s. So this and this will be level 4s. You normal summon it, then you special summon this and tribute this off. That's how that works. So when this card is special summoned, you can banish all monsters your opponent controls. Also, this card can't attack this turn. It does this effect. Can't be destroyed by battle or card effect. Also unaffected by spell and trap effects. Once per turn, you can return as many of your opponent's banished cards as possible to the graveyard, and if you do, the first battle or effect damage your opponent takes this turn becomes doubled. This card is a end game card. It's very easy to get out. The only problem is it can't be destroyed by battle or card effect, which is nice. So if they try to, you can literally put it in defense position as a stall thing. But there's ways to get around, cards that your opponent's having trouble getting around. I guess you could say, like, if you're having trouble getting around a certain card, there are tricks in this deck to get around powerful cards, which is something the deck has. Getting around very powerful monsters is a problem. Things over 2,500 attack are a little bit hard to get around, but you have ways in the deck to deal with that very easily. So that's your Legendary Fisherman lineup. Go Legendary Fisherman. I love him. He is so cool. Maker Tsunami, Mr. Fish Face himself. Sorry about the helicopter in the background. Next we run to Gagaga Gigogo Gaga. Is that how many Gigo? Gagaga Gigo. So Gigago Gagaga Gigo. The level 5 one is the only thing you need to know here. So with Legendary Ocean on the field, he's a 2750 attack monster that you can normal summon. That is pretty decent overall, honestly, as a beat stick. That's why I say you really need to rely on Legendary Ocean for this deck to function. You need Legendary Ocean on the field, either first or second turn, otherwise things will go south for you very quickly. So yeah, 2 Gagaga Giggle. You could run other cards, but I like him as a 2-of because he's just this big beat stick that works with this strategy of a beatdown theme with using traps. Next we run 3 Warrior of Atlantis. So Warrior of Atlantis is really nice. This is like Commandant, like Harpy's Queen, other cards from the GX era where you could just pitch this card, search the field spell. This helps you search Legendary Ocean. So you pitch this, search Legendary Ocean. That's how this works. So pretty much straightforward. He's also, 19? He's a 22 beater with Legendary Ocean on the field. He's actually one of your normal summonable monsters. So yeah, really nice card overall. Then we run 1 Citadel Whale. Excuse me. Citadel Whale is good as a 1-of in the deck. You don't want to run more than 1-of. It's pretty good in this deck, and there's different ways you can get into him, actually. So if you guys don't know what he does, if this card is in your hand or graveyard, you contribute 2 water monsters, special summon this card. You can only use the effect of Citadel Whale once per turn. If this card is special summon, you can set 1 sea stealth attack directly from your deck, which is amazing. It's an amazing trap card. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets 1 water monster you control and no other cards, quick effect, you can negate the activation if you do destroy that card. So that's what sucks. It's not like just a blanket effect, but overall, he's really, really good to some extent, and he's good as a 1-of, I would say. He's a good 1-of card that's really nice to get out, and yeah, I like him as a 1-of, and he's very easy to get out along with the Paleozoics and all your other water monsters, so there's different ways to get him out, honestly, overall. So 1 Citadel Whale. Then we run your 1 Max C because Max C's not banned, so run it because it's good. You could run Ghost Ashes, but I find that you really are going to have a hard time trying to fit a Ghost Ash in this deck, more or less, because it clunks. It's a great card against the meta, but it doesn't add anything to... with this deck, it doesn't make anything better. So you could side deck your Ghost Ashes if you want to take this into a competitive scene. I would not. I usually just play this deck against friends. But yeah, you could side deck Ghost Ashes or main deck them if you want to find the space, really, is what I'm trying to say here. Next, you have 3 Legendary Ocean and 1 Terraforming. You literally have 6 ways of getting Legendary Ocean to your hand, so yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ways of getting Legendary Ocean in your hand. You want that Terraforming. I know you already have this, but you need that Terraforming. I'm not joking, ladies and gentlemen. You will need it, because Legendary Ocean is the backbone of this deck. It really, really is. This is a Legendary Ocean deck, really. Like, that's how this deck works. They've made this card into an archetype to some degree. So 3 Legendary Ocean, old school card. I'm kind of surprised. I don't think this has ever had a holo reprint, but I would really like it to be a super. That'd be really nice. But yeah. Next we got 2 Feast of the Wild, level 5. So this card you may have played back in the day if you played, what was it, UA? You may know this card. This card's really good in this deck for a bunch of different reasons. If you don't have Legendary Ocean on your field, you're kind of stuck, right? So there's different things you could do here. If you have these 2 in your hand, right? So I got these 2 stuck in my hand, but I don't have Legendary Ocean. Or, 2 of this and 2 of this, whatever. You can be like, special summon, exceed into a rank 5 play, which I will show you. You do have a rank 5 play in this deck you can go into. And there you go. Or if you, things of that nature. Or if you just need a way to get out Legendary Fisherman and, you want to make another normal summon that turn for a different reason, you could be like, normal summon, we'll bring these two of them out from your hand, tribute 1, special summon, tribute 1 off to special summon Legendary Fisherman 3, etc., etc. And then normal summon another card if you're side decking some other good cards against somebody at your locals. But this card's really good. It's also good because if in the grind game, which this deck sometimes precedes, if some of these are in the graveyard, you can bring them back and either sack them off for Legendary Fisherman 3 or go for that rank 5 play that turn, or bring them back from hand or graveyard for Citadel Whale. So this is another way for going for Citadel Whale, because you can either go this, bring these two out, they lose their effects, so you either sack them off for Citadel Whale, rank 5 play, or you go for Legendary Fisherman 3. So that's how these two work. A 2-of is fine, 3-of is too much though. Next up we run 2 Rage of Curation. This is a new card that just came out. I'm wondering if they'll ever make a retrained version of him, honestly. I'm kind of curious to know in the future. But what this card does, it's pretty good. If Umi is on the field, which is Legendary Ocean, target monsters your opponent controls up to the number of water monsters you control whose original level of 5 or higher. So that's why we run Gagagigo, that's why we run Legendary Fisherman's. It works with this. Destroy them, and if you do, the zones they were in can't be used. So pretty much what it says here is water monsters you control whose original attack level 5 or higher. Destroy them, and if you do, the zones they were in can't be used until the end of the next turn. Your opponent activates one. You can only activate one Ryu Kishin per power. So, number one, what it does is it destroys your opponent's monsters. That's cool. And what it does as well, it locks them out of their zone. So if they're in the main monster zone, you can lock them out. So it's really good overall. It's a quick play spell, which is nice. So I like it as a 2-of. Some people like it as a 1-of, but 2-of for me. Some consistency cards, your Upstart Goblin, your Foolish Burial to send Citadel Whale to the graveyard, or send a Legendary Fisherman to set up for Feast of the Wild, pretty much. So there's different ways you can use Foolish Burial. And your 1 Regeki. A card you could tech in here is a Dark Hole as well, which is something I wanted to put in, but I just couldn't find space at the moment. You could put Dark Hole in here because if you have your Legendary Fisherman 3 on the field and you Dark Hole it, it won't destroy your Legendary Fisherman 3, but will destroy your opponent's monsters, so it pretty much functions as Regeki. So you could run Dark Hole or Torrential Tribute in the deck. Just saying. So your trap cards you run are 3. Sea Stealth Attack. You could run 2 of this card, but this card is so necessary for this deck because it's your main way of getting rid of monsters. It literally functions as, pretty much makes every monster of yours Cataster. That's a level 5 water. So what this does is, once per turn, you can banish 1 water monster you control until the end phase. This turn, face-up spell or trap cards you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects, even if this card leaves the field. Second effect. At the start of the damage calculation, if the water monster whose original level is 5 or higher bows an opponent's monster, destroy that opponent's monster. That's a good effect. The cool thing about that first effect though is you don't need to activate it just when your opponent's destroying monsters. You know, when they're just trying to destroy spells and traps. You could be like, oh, I got this guy out, right? Okay? Oh, but you know, I don't want them to destroy that card, so I'll bounce it back, I'll banish it, protect my spells and trap cards, and you don't get to destroy my monster. Next turn I bring it out, sack it off, go for a rank 5 play. There's a whole bunch of different things, you know, like you could bounce this back, banish it, you take some damage, it comes back, now I swing into you, and I destroy your monster. So this is a good dodging effect, the first effect, and the second effect is amazing. This card is an amazing trap card, like underrated good card. Next up we have your Paleozoic engine, which is 2 Hallucinogen. The reason I run Hallucinogen is it's a way of getting over big monsters, and I like it as a 2-of. So you don't need to run it, but I like it as a 2-of because it helps you decrease your opponent's attack and then run over their monster, or vice versa. Then we run 2 Dinomischus and 2 Opabinia. Is it Olenoidus? I can't pronounce their names. So those are the Paleozoics we do run. They can help you go for Totally Awesome, Citadel Whale, just overall they're pretty dang good. So we run those guys. It actually works really well as an engine. Then we run, this is a tech. I wanted to run it because I love this card. I used to run it back when water beatdown was more of a thing in the game. That's Tornado Wall. And it actually really works in this deck, kind of stupidly. So, say this protects you from taking damage, which is nice. But the cool thing is, and I've done this against some buddies of mine, which is kind of fun. Say I have this on the field, alright? But I don't have a big enough monster or any way to get over your big monster, right? So I activate this. Okay, cool. This is just something gimmicky, I'm just saying, but this is something you could not run and run something else. I just like it because it works with the theme and it actually works in the deck and can stall you out till you get your plays set up. I am not joking. This card is kind of clutch as a one-off. It has won me some games stupidly, but you don't need to run it if you don't want to. But pretty much what you can do is you can have this out in the field and they can't run over it, because it can't be destroyed by battle, and you won't take any damage because this is on the field. So even if they try to make another combo play with a bigger monster, you can still attack those monsters. I did that to a friend of mine. He kept trying to set his monsters to make his play more powerful. I just wouldn't let him because I kept running over those monsters, but he couldn't get over mine because of this, and I wouldn't take damage. So this card's good as a one-of for multiple different reasons. You can try it out. If you don't like it, you could run Dark Hole or something else, but I really do like it as a one-of. It's just fits with the theme, and it actually works, believe it or not. So, one Tornado Wall. Then we run our double Solemn Strike and our Warning. So, just good traps. Now on to the extra deck. We have our Skyla token, because we love Skyla. Our 2 Totally Awesomes, sometimes you'll go for 2. Your Opabinia and your Manassas. I can never pronounce his name. So, that's the Paleozoic engine you run. Alright? Now you have to keep in mind, you decrease your levels with Legendary Ocean. So a level 4 becomes a level 3, a level 5 becomes a level 4. So do remember that when looking at the rest of this deck profile. Honor Arc, Abyss Dweller, Hope Wolf Dragon Spider Shark, 82 for game, Castel because it's Castel, number 17 Leviathan Dragon because this thing is gigantic with, it actually works in the deck sometimes. Blackberry Lancer, number 47 for game, Grand Pulse, and for your level 5 you run number 94 Crystal Lancer and full armor Crystal Lancer for the deck. So that's the extra deck in a nutshell. Pretty much you're running a bunch of waters because they'll gain attack and they work with the deck a lot better. So this will be 28 attack. This will now be 23 attack. This will be 22 attack on summon. It'll be 27 when you attach 1. So, like the Abyss Dweller here, he's going to be 17 with the waters equipped to him. He's going to have that attack plus Legendary Ocean's effect. He's going to gain 200 more. So these guys can get pretty big because they're water types, which is why I run them. However, if you want to run other cards, you could run level 5s, and you could also run level 4s. Those are the 2 main things, and the Paleozoic engine as well, which works out pretty well in the deck. But guys, till next time, take care. Have fun dueling. Good luck dueling. Go, Mr. Meku Tsunami himself. I am so happy I got to build this deck. I love playing water beatdown type of themes because that was one of my favorite decks back in the day. But this is a very fun deck to play. And until next time, take care. Have fun dueling. Good luck dueling, and I'll see you guys next time. Go, Meku Tsunami, and go, Legendary Fisherman. May his legend live on.